Are you ready to know the direction of the day for the world's most traded pair? Well, welcome to this live stream. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on today's live stream. Now, out here, it is a very cold morning. It's exactly 8:30 my local time. That's East African time that we always jump onto these live streams. Today, I've had a small delay when it comes to time, and it was basically because of some technical problems, but we are finally here. Thank you so much to whoever is joining right now. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate you jumping on here and sharing this morning with me. So I always do these live streams on a daily. That's 8:30 East African time, 8:30 a.m. Or if you're using the New York or Eastern Standard Time, that is 1:30 a.m. every morning New York time. So basically, I jump onto these live streams to basically share the direction of the day for the world's most traded forex pair, and that's the Euro USD. Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful morning. Thank you for joining, and we are going to be jumping straight into this to basically share with you what I think the direction of the day is going to be like on the Euro USD. And this is based off my particular strategy that I trade, which is a 50% win rate strategy. And it aims to actually capture a 1 to 3. And I like to also squeeze this to a 1 to 4 risk to reward. So basically, this is the type of strategy that I trade. And if you're interested, we are going to be jumping and diving into this so that you get to know exactly how I trade this particular strategy. So if you're just joining us right now, please welcome. You can as well share this live stream maybe with a friend or colleague that basically struggles with the direction of the day when it comes to the Euro USD. That's exactly what I'm going to be jumping into just in a moment. And welcome, guys. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you joining this live stream. So as I've told you, this is a 50% win rate strategy, and then it has a 1 to 4 risk to reward. So basically, I'm able to get at least 10 out of 10 trades. I'm able to at least win 5 of those trades. So that's the type of strategy. As you know, when it comes to trading, it is not if there's any strategy that has 100% win rate, please do share it with me, because I'm really looking for that. But I don't think there's any kind of strategy like that. So that's the type of strategy that I trade, and I'll be sharing it just in a while or just in a bit. But before I actually always get before I get onto the charts, usually I like to acquaint myself with what the fundamentals are like for the day. And how I do this, I basically usually first go onto a website called bloomberg.com to basically try and see what those guys are saying. So if you know me, or if you've been following me for a while now, you know that personally I'm a technical trader. But as a technical trader, you also don't want to be on the opposite side of things when it comes to the fundamentals. So this is the reason I always like visiting this website to see what exactly they are saying for that particular day when it comes to the pair that I trade, which is the Euro USD. So when I come here, I can clearly see that when it comes to the related news to the pair I trade, which is the Euro USD, today, which is the 23rd of July 2024, I can see here that Harris cements Dems support China's social media embraces Trump. So you can see that's the type of news on there. So basically here, what I look out for is major news. I like to see those the major news that might affect the euro, or that might affect the USD. So basically, that's the reason I like checking on here, because you do not, I repeat, you do not want to be on the opposite side of, this type of fundamental news. You don't want to be on the opposite side, because most of the times, if you're on the opposite side, obviously you're going to take a hit on your account. So you don't want to trade this way. So the other news right here, deep buyers went back in to drive Wall Street gains. So this is basically a market wrap that was written just 8 hours ago. Then Biden exit sounds alarm on Trump trades driven with contradiction. So basically, this is the news currently on the dollar and the euro. Big banks say Trump is dollar bullish despite rhetoric. Biden ends presidential race, endorses Harris. So basically, this is not any kind of major news when it comes to fundamentals. This is just usual news. So I'm not paying as much attention to this. So once I've finished actually looking at my fundamentals right here, the other thing I like to see is the Forex Factory economic calendar. So when it comes to today, which is the 23rd, I'm going to be checking out to see exactly what they are saying, or in case there are any kinds of news events. So we can see right here, there is no economic news for today that is going to be dropping. This is according to me, because I filtered this out to basically only show me red folder news. So there's no red folder news when it comes to Forex Factory. So I'm okay with that. Now, the reason I like to check this out is simply because for some traders, I don't know if you're that kind of trader, but for many traders, they actually don't like holding their trades through these economic news. They don't like to hold their trades through this economic news. So once it's going to drop, then many traders actually do exit their trades to basically not to leave anything to chance. So basically, if you're that type of trader, then you might want to know exactly the time this news is going to be dropping. Like for me, right now, it always drops roughly at 3:30 p.m. my local time. But if you're using the New York time zone or the New York time, basically this drops at roughly about 8:30 a.m. New York time. So you don't want to be in some of these news events, because they can end up, wiping out all your daily profits for that particular day. So this is the reason sometimes it's good for you to exit before this news actually drops. So basically, this is me. So these are some of the things I look at before I actually get to my chart. So basically, this is it. So if we are to look at the chart, this is what our daily chart. This is what our 1 hour time frame chart looks like. So basically, how I trade this strategy, I would like to explain to you exactly how I trade this strategy. I trade this based off of the open, low, high, close, or the open, high, low, close of the daily candle. So basically, what this means, it's more of a power of three. I always want to look out for the previous day's candle, and then usually the previous day's candle leaves some kind of area of interest, and price for, let's say, the next day, which is, let's say, today, price usually likes to tap back into that area of interest, and then it reverses in the other way. So basically, this is what I look out for. And then when it comes to this chart right here, if I'm to, basically, this is today's, this was yesterday's price action, as you can see right here. So when it comes to today, which is the 23rd, of July 2024. This is what I'll be looking at. Price basically tapping into this area of interest right here, which is a fair value gap. So this is what I'm looking at. Price basically tapping right there. So once price taps into this area of interest that I've marked out here, so once price taps into this fair value gap that was left yesterday, I expect. So this is something I'll be looking out for. I'll basically react off this level right here. So I'll react once price gets to this level. That's when I'll be looking to actually make my reaction. This also coincides with the days today's Asian session. You can see this was the high of today's Asian session. So once price has taken out the high of the Asian session, I expect price to actually reverse in the other direction. And then another thing, or if this doesn't happen this way, another level I would be looking to actually react off of is this particular level. Now, this level, it is a level that formed basically, there's an order block right here. There's an order block right here. So if I'm to actually mark this out, there's an order block that was formed right here. So there are so many stops. So I'll be looking for price to actually first take out. If price is actually to move to the upper side, there are so many stops that it has to first take out because it's been long overdue. When you look at this, these 2 days actually, Friday the 19th and also Monday the 22nd, price has basically been ranging. Price has been consolidating. There's not been any major move. So I expect price to first manipulate in a way of actually taking out all these stops, resting below this area. So there are stops all over here. So I expect price to take out all these, and then that's when I expect price to actually move to the upper side. So this is what I mean right here. So I expect price to come low here. These are the two levels that I'm looking to actually react off of. And then once price has reached or gotten to this particular level right here, I'll be reacting in this other opposite direction. If price gets to this level right here, I'll react in the opposite direction. So the levels I'm looking at, number one is 1.08968. And then, so once price gets here, I react. So the other level is this level right here, 1.08631, 1.08631. So once price gets to that level, I'll be reacting to actually take my trade in the opposite direction. And how I like to make my entries, I always make my entries using the 5-minute time frame. That's where I make my entries from. When it comes to my analysis, I analyze the market, or I analyze these charts basically using the 1 hour time frame. But when it comes to entries, I enter on the 5-minute time frame. And usually I use a 10 pip stop loss. And then when it comes to the take profit, I use a 30 pip stop loss. So basically how I came up with these figures is basically I noticed and realized from experience that usually on a daily price at least moves 30 pips in the market. So this is what on average I look to actually take from the market. I only take 30 pips from the market. Now, this is how I trade, and I've traded this way for more than a year now. And maybe if I'm to show you some of those results from my trading in the past over 1 year, if I'm to actually share with you what I've been my kind of results over the last couple of over 14 months now. So you can see right here, I started effectively trading this strategy. That was May of 2023. And when you look at my monthly comments right here, you can clearly see this was a green month, a green month, green month. I've been having green months for all this time period. So you can see all these are green months, guys. So this is the type of strategy. And then when it comes to the percentage gain onto my profits, so when it comes to profits, you can see I made a 5% for that month of May. I made a 6% for the month of June. July, I had a 7%. August wasn't very good, but I still made a 1%, guys. So you can clearly see that these are not crazy gains. Many trading gurus out there, they promise you that with this strategy, you are going to be getting maybe a 20%, or maybe you're always going to have a 50%, addition onto your equity every month. And I'm telling you guys, these are scam artists. These are people waiting to take your money because they are promising something that is not real. That's not real. That's not how trading works. Yes, it might work for some people, but not all people, guys. So these are just the kinds of gains that I always make on a monthly consistent basis, guys. So when it comes, or when it came to the month of September, I had a 5% addition onto my profits. Then October, I had a 23%. That was a good month. Then I didn't trade November and December. Then when it came to January, I had an 18%. February, I had a 4%. March, I had a 7%. April was, I can say April has so far been my best month. I had a 25% addition onto my equity. May, I had a 12%, and then June had a 5%. So this is the kind of strategy that I trade, guys. And I'm sure if you trade the same way, you'll be able to make these kinds of gains, guys. But of course, this is also coupled with good risk management. If you do not manage your risk well, you will definitely not make these kinds of profits, guys. So you have to have a very good risk management for you to be able to be profitable in these markets. The other thing you need to avoid or to eliminate from your trading are things like maybe execution errors. You do not have to make those minor errors that end up costing you. Things to do with maybe entering a wrong lot size. Instead of maybe entering one lot, you enter 10 lots. This is going to end up wiping you up. Do not go for crazy things, guys. Pay attention to detail. Do not make those execution errors. Maybe instead of going for a buy, you instead go for a sell because you may be panicking or anything. Guys, pay attention to detail, because this is how you're going to become profitable in these markets. If you do not do this, definitely you'll end up leaving money in these markets, because you will always be losing out money. So try to be consistent. Have those consistent things that you do when you're trading. If you do not do this, you're definitely going to end up losing money in these markets, guys. So basically, this is the type of strategy that I trade. And as I keep telling you guys, this is trading is a game of probabilities. So I've told you that this is a 50% win rate strategy, but this is a game of probabilities. It means this doesn't mean that as I'm putting on a trade, let's say today, if my setup actually shows, it does not mean it's going to be a win. That's not how it works. This is a game of probabilities, that once you have your edge in the market, you must always execute on that edge. So you only get to evaluate yourself after a series of trades. So you let these probabilities play out. So after a series of maybe 10 trades, maybe 20 trades, or maybe a month, after a month, depending on how many trades you usually take or you averagely take in a month, after a number of maybe 10 trades, you evaluate yourself. After a number of maybe 20 trades, you evaluate yourself. Maybe after 3 months or maybe after half a year, you do your evaluation to see, is this strategy really a working strategy? So this is how you're going to determine whether it works or not. But do not base, your results or your worth off that one trade. That's a gambler's mindset. Here, we are trading this, we are treating this as a business. So do not think you're going to become rich overnight. No, you have to take every day as it comes. Execute your strategy, execute your edge as it comes. When it appears, do not hesitate. Put on that trade. Manage your risk. This is how you're going to end up becoming profitable in these markets. And for me, how I trade this, usually I trade the London session, and I only and only look to actually take a trade if this sweep, for example, this sweep that I'm looking out for, I need the price to actually make this particular raid on this liquidity or this liquidity down here. I look for price to actually take out these levels at least between 2 a.m. New York time up to about, that will be up to about, I think about 3:59 or 4:59 a.m. New York time. That will be 2 a.m. to 4:59 a.m. New York time, or if it is in my local time, which is the East African time, I look to actually take these to actually look out. I look to actually find these sweeps happen at least between 9 a.m. East African time up to about 11:59 a.m. East African time. If the sweep does not happen between those time periods, then I'm not trading that day. So these are the kind of rules I set up for myself, and I must abide by them if I'm to actually become profitable, or if I'm to actually make money in the market consistently. So these are the kind of rules I set up for myself, and I must follow them on a day-to-day basis. The other thing, I look to actually take my entry. When it comes to entry, I enter between the entry should be done at least between 9 a.m. my local time up to about 3:29 p.m. my local time. So that's the time I look to take my entry. If an entry or if the setup has not showed up within that period of time, then I'm not trading that day. So basically, these are just the rules I set up for myself. And then when it comes to basically, if you're actually trading in the New York time, you can actually, or what I look out for is basically for the setup to form between 2 a.m. up to about 8:29 New York time. So basically, this is me because I don't want to, bend any of these rules. I'm like a robot. I'm executing like a computer that has been programmed that when it comes to this time, or when this and this maybe shows up, execute. So that's how I want to execute, and this is how I remain, doing the same exact things that enable me make money in this market. So basically, this is it for today. This is my overview for today. In case of any questions, you can go ahead, leave them down in the comment section. I'll be gladly answering you back. In a case of anything you'd like to maybe comment on some of these live streams, I'll be happily answering you back down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for making time to actually join me on these live streams. I'll be